Is it a situation where, after the way you guys lost again, was it almost like, was this a shock or not a shock?
It was definitely a shock. I mean, obviously, like, people write about and all that, but like in here, like, as long as people are showing up to work and you show up to work, you assume they're going to be here. We never assume that somebody's going to be gone. So it definitely was a shock to us as players, but at the same time, like, we also understand the business and how it goes.
Is there a sense of, you give your all every day, but still at the end of the day, it resulted in somebody losing their job. Do you feel almost like a sense of regret?
Not regret, because we tried. It wasn't like we didn't go out there and give our best effort to get the wins that obviously would have ultimately helped him keep his job. We just weren't able to get that done. So I wouldn't say regret is the word, but obviously you feel for him, feel for his family, wish him the best.
Obviously, yeah.
For a while, for a while.
Yeah.
Is he ready for this, and what's he going to bring?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's done a great job of leading us as an offense, and obviously, he gets to kind of expand his role into leading the entire team with defense and special teams. So, I think he's ready for it. He does a great job of standing in front of the guys and kind of giving the charge and giving direction over the past couple of days. And obviously, we know he's a good play caller. So, I think he'll do a good job.
Did you notice anything different about him today? Today was the first day you ever knew him as a head coach.
Yeah.
Did he seem any different to you? Do you look at him any different?
Yeah, I think he definitely had a lot of energy. I feel like he was energized today. He came in, with you could tell he was had a positive mindset, an opportunistic mindset, so to speak. And, I think anybody that gets a chance to get a job and get a promotion, so to speak, you should be that way.
Darius, what would you tell?
We don't see a lot of his personality.
Yeah.
Is there more passion, more fire, more energy to him than maybe we've seen, with him as the number 2?
Yeah, I think he's yes, for sure. I think in a football setting, whether that be in the meeting or on the sideline, I definitely think he has some fire and passion in him. But, at the same time, he's probably naturally a little bit more of a calmer personality, so to speak. But, that can be helpful, especially in a high-pressure game like we're in, week in and week out, that calming presence can definitely be beneficial.
Darius, as a team leader, you've gone through this before. There are some guys who haven't. So what would be your message to the guys who haven't gone through this, who maybe are uncertain right now?
Yeah, the human nature thing would be, we have 2 wins through 10 weeks and we have 7 weeks left. And, some people would pack it in, say our head coach got fired, whatever. But the reality of this league is that, with change comes change. And you don't know whether or not you will or will not be a part of those changes. So it would behoove you as an individual to do your best over these 7 weeks and give your best effort and try to get some wins on the board in order to try to keep yourself in the Giants uniform. So that's mostly what I'll tell guys, it's like now it's definitely not the time to relax and we need to go out there and try to put our best foot forward.
Are you going to have your antenna up to look for guys that maybe are kind of thrown in the towel prematurely?
No, because I don't think that'll be a problem on this team. We have the right kind of guys around here, and I think guys will go out there and give their best effort. But, obviously if this is your first time going through this, you just don't know. But I do know, So, I just try to share wisdom when I can.
It's a little bit different for you this time, I guess, because the last 2 coaches that got fired were at the end of the season, and now it's happening in the middle of the season. How does that get processed differently, I guess, for you, the guys, when it happens in the middle of the season?
Yeah, in the middle of the season, obviously, it's like somebody gets promoted to interim. So it's more so shifting to that person, but in the span of 48 hours. As opposed to an off season, it's like you sit, you wait, somebody gets announced, then you don't even see them to OTAs. Like you have a lot of time to sit and get ready. But in season, we've had 24, 36 hours, whatever, to get ready for CAF. But we're ready for him, and he seems to be ready, and we're ready to rock.
Is it just odd coming in today? The guy who has been the head coach here for the last 3.5 years he's a big presence here.
Yeah.
Is it odd to come in and he's gone? That's it. Somebody else is there.
Yeah, of course. He's the head coach. You're obviously going to notice that presence being gone. But like I said, Cass filling the role, and I think he's going to do a great job. And we look forward to working with him.
Have you had questions from your defensive teammates who haven't really dealt with Cap much? What's he like? What can we expect?
Not a ton, but I just try to tell him what he's like, as a guy, and what to kind of expect.
Sounds like you guys are going to have your 3rd different quarterback starting this week. We've seen a lot of energy, it looks like, from Jameis and stuff on the sidelines and whatnot. What is he going to bring this week?
Yeah, I think just positive energy. Jameis is is a positive guy, but he's also kind of an electric personality, so to speak. You know, a guy that, you know, draws people in and makes people believe. So, you know, look forward to playing with him this week.
He's a quarterback there. He's going to give his guys a chance.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's too many 50-50 opportunities for him. He's going to give you a chance to tilt any odd.
For sure.
How does that change your mindset when you're out there?
You know, everybody's alive. Doesn't matter where you're running or what you're running. You know, he can gun it anywhere and he will gun it anywhere. And as for receiver, you know, that's what you love. You know, you love to have a chance. You love to feel like a guy that's going to give you a chance. And, you know, I think that's kind of been James's whole career is that type of MO and why he's led the league in passing before, you know. So, you know, like I said, I think he'll do a great job this week.
Could that energy be something, you know, considering everything that's going on, could that energy that he brings be something that's helpful?
For sure, of course. You know, I mean, I think everybody's kind of going about this, you know, the best way they can, adjusting as fast as they can. But obviously there's differences in how, you know, Days versus Cap approach things. There's small changes for us. But, you know, I think on top of that, you know, having somebody like James that's a steady presence, a veteran presence definitely helps.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Probably, yeah, I'm good.
You didn't practice at all today, did you?
We walked through today.
Walk through?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were able to finish the game,
Yeah.
right? Did you exacerbate the hamstring or something? Or?
No, I didn't get any worse.
No.
As the game went on, no.
Just something you're going to have to manage, I guess, the rest of the year.
Yeah, is what it is.
Do you think with Kappa being in the interim and then now you've got a new OC, technically, you know, the tight ends coach got moved up, like, is there much you guys can realistically change to your system in the last 7 games?
Yeah, not like massive changes, no. But like I said, like small imprints. You know, he has his imprint. He's even kind of been shown today, kind of in the approach and some things we're going to get to. But obviously, also with James being a new quarterback, there's also new there. You know, he's not Dart. You know, he's not as much of a runner as Jackson. You know, all that type of thing. So, you know, there will be small imprints and nuances.